What's going on, everyone? Jeremy here from the Quartering. I hope you're having an absolutely wonderful day. I've just got terrible news for all the pumpkin spice latte lovers out there. Now, I happen to know that this claim does not apply to my pumpkin flavored coffees at Coffee Brand Coffee, but apparently, pumpkin spice latte culture is in fact racist. I didn't know if you knew that, but yeah, you got to stop getting pumpkin spice lattes. You're contributing to the oppression of minorities. When Lisa Powell and Elizabeth Englehart published a peer-reviewed research paper titled "The Perilous Whiteness of Pumpkins," many conservatives, white scholars responded with outrage and disdain. For instance, Margaret Went, a Canadian columnist for the Globe and Mail, suggested the scholarly article reduced white people's affinity for pumpkin spice lattes to, quote, the ultimate expression of white privilege, and it intended to inspire feelings of shame in white people who buy them to fulfill their caffeine craving. By the way, I don't rock with pumpkin spice. I think the world's tired of it. So at Coffee Brand Coffee, promo code Fall Flavors, get 10% off today. I rolled with pumpkin pie. Any one of these with a little unflavored cream or Cool Whip in it, delicious. Pumpkin pie, butterscotch toffee, and spiked jack-o'-lantern. 3 delicious fall flavors. Get them today. CoffeeBrandCoffee.com. Link is in the description below. Taking a step further, Daniel Latte, a conservative author, used the word insane to describe social scientists' decision to explore this very topic. Despite taking the time to read their 21-page article, he claimed it isn't really worth engaging, arguing that the article was simply the latest product of cheap and lazy formula, which he claimed is common in modern-day academia. Well, yeah, of course it is. Race baiting, reducing everything down to people's skin color, all of these things, that is common. And it's in your colleges, too. It's in our colleges worldwide, not just in the United States, but in the West. The National Review's Catherine Timpf gave much more well-rounded analysis to the article, but equated pumpkin spice lattes to white privilege in a way that felt a bit reductive. Their hollow responses to the perilous whiteness of pumpkins may reflect an unwillingness to consider the constructs proposed. Quote, to admit that pumpkin spice culture is inundated with whiteness would also require them to acknowledge the existence of a racial hierarchy. Literally what? I'm not sure I saw 2 lines at Starbucks, one for whites and one for coloreds, and the coloreds line was omitted from buying pumpkin spice lattes. I don't think I've ever seen that. Have you seen that? Why is it so hard to believe that pumpkins have a connection to whiteness in America? Because so many feed into the myth of meritocracy and believe that resources in our communities are made up equally available, and those who work hard are able to succeed, and blaming anyone who's struggling as having poor work ethic. Well, I don't think anyone actually does that. I mean, there are a lot of reasons why somebody can't get ahead, why they might be, failing in life, or why, it comes down to really opportunities and what you do with them, how often you seize them, and if you're willing to do what it takes. And even then you can still fail. None of that has to do with the color of your skin, of course. If you look at any modern employer or college right now, opportunities are overwhelmingly disproportionately given to people who are non-white. Furthermore, pumpkins are a common symbol of pranking culture in America. Black people don't prank each other? I find that hard to believe. Which is ultimately white, since black teenagers are not allowed to make mischief without it being viewed through a criminal lens. What? First of all, I got plenty of criminality and TPing and smashing pumpkins when I was young. Definitely got tickets for littering, things of that nature. So I don't know what you're talking about. When somebody's house got brutally TP'd in my neighborhood, they almost always called the cops. They didn't think it was funny or just kids being kids. Usually the cops are around and they look for whatever kids had a sleepover that night or a camp out, this nature, that nature. Tossing eggs will get you a ticket because, it takes the paint off, stuff like that. So this is insane. As City Ott, an American studies professor, told Mike, shaming pumpkins and misrule at the festival are seen as an affront, but an affront that lets people let loose without challenging norms. The white kids here are just acting out. Black people are actually trying to change a violent political system. What? This is somebody that definitely like smells their own farts. They think, and then they sit at their table. They're definitely not the smartest person in the room, but they think they are. One of the most discussed aspects in the essay was the author's analysis of pumpkin spice lattes, a product that became popularized by Starbucks' seasonal drink promotional campaign in '03. White women pushed back on a narrative that their love of pumpkin spice lattes, Ugg boots, and yoga pants made them basic, or they lacked authenticity. However, in fighting back against basic girl stereotypes centered around romance, femininity, and trendiness, white women doubled down and created the pumpkin spice latte culture. Well, yeah, if you drink Diet Coke and you drink pumpkin spice lattes and Ugg boots, you are basic, and that's okay. What's wrong with that? Consider the pumpkin spice latte costs $6 a cup, depending on the size and location. So does all coffee at Starbucks. A pumpkin spice latte is just as expensive as a raspberry latte or whatever. I don't know. I don't go to Starbucks. I literally own a coffee company. That number may vary some, but essentially we're talking about a luxury item that white women with disposable income are much more likely to be able to afford and enjoy. As Powell Englehart suggested, the stereotype of basic essentiality failed to acknowledge the privilege such white women and their, quote, detractors actually hold. In other words, it makes sense that these white women push back against that basic label. No one wants their identity to be reduced. Well, I mean, you're doing that by saying that pumpkin spice lattes represent the same thing to everybody. I'd be willing to bet you there are plenty of black folks that buy pumpkin spice lattes, and to act like people who are black simply don't have $6 would fly in the face of all the spinners and gold chains and stuff that are promoted in that same culture. So you don't have a problem with rap music promoting spinners or gold chains or gold teeth, which all represent excess and wealth, but it's different with pumpkin spice lattes, which cost $6. It's curious that you don't make that same connection. Designer clothes is popular, is promoted in black culture. That's not racist. Expensive, like Jordans. I mean, sure, white people like Jordans too, but basketball shoes, Jordans, these are very expensive, $200-$300, maybe more. You don't have a problem with shoes. It's just pumpkin spice lattes. It's because academia is in and of itself a cringe, outlet for activism. And they're just essentially clickbaiting and saying, oh yeah, it's definitely the pumpkin spice lattes and jack-o'-lanterns. After a careful read, it's clear that the article only hoped to raise awareness about the white privilege encoded in pumpkins. You can buy a pumpkin for like $2. I see lots of black folks at the pumpkin patch. There's a really nice pumpkin patch on Silver Spring Road in the Menominee Falls area that's kind of centrally located. Their pumpkins are very high quality and very reasonably priced, if that's what you want to do. And there's always a very strong mix of people that are there. You go to any other pumpkin farms. People go to pumpkin farms in Milwaukee. Are you kidding me? They're busing. There's a pumpkin farm that I don't even go to anymore because it's so busy that they're busing people in from Milwaukee 30 minutes north to go to the haunted hayfield and all this kind of stuff. This article comes from a place of a complete lack of understanding. Now, if you argue that, pumpkin farms and that is a suburban thing, okay, maybe you might have a point there just because of the nature of the space that's required. But I guarantee you, black folks get down with Halloween just like anybody else. This is like a ridiculous reduction of black culture too. I mean, not everybody gets into Halloween, but it might surprise you to know that more money is spent in the United States every year at Halloween than at Christmas. People spend more money on Halloween than they spend on Christmas stuff. Decorations. I can't all be white people doing that. The whiteness of pumpkins is no laughing matter. Many people found themselves clutching their pearls at the audacity of scholars. I'd like to bring up for conversation the definition of scholars. I'd like to take a look at how that is actually defined. Black people are pumpkin spice lattes. I'm sick of you people whining about what is this, medium? Here's a quick note to all my African-American friends on Facebook that I went to high school with. We don't talk much anymore. It's not because I'm racist. I'm just busy with work. I mean, like, people are just racializing this stupid drink that pretty much, I can't imagine anyone really cares about it. Perilous Whiteness of Pumpkin study deems pumpkin spice lattes white privilege. I don't know. People can't just have fun anymore. Look, if you're one of my viewers and you're black and you want to meet up at a pumpkin farm with me, I'll be happy. I'd love to do that. I have a feeling that I have plenty of black viewers that love Halloween too, and don't see pumpkins as an inherently white thing. Maybe it's a suburban thing. Okay, I could maybe hear that. I might listen to that argument, but I'm not listening to it having anything to do with race. It's absolutely absurd. But, just as always, I don't care what color you are or what kind of coffee you like. Link in the description, coffeebrandcoffee.com. My dog wants it. Promo code Fall Flavors will save you 10%. Support the channel. Support local business. coffeebrandcoffee.com today. I hope I can earn your business.